Boys and girls, we're going to be looking at Alice, and this series of videos is really to get you guys familiar with being able to do the code that you need to do, and so that you can make the animations for your end of term projects. So I'm going to be going through a few case examples, and then from there, we will look at how the code works together and how it meshes so that it actually makes your characters move, it makes the objects move in the ways that you want. And that's a whole idea, is that you are going to create some great animations. So without further ado, let's have a look at the code and let's get started. I'll just get it from up here. All right, boys and girls, welcome. So we're going to actually do some coding, and this is actually one of the coding examples that I've recently played for you, but the footage on this tutorial was a little bit unclear, so I thought I'd actually do it again and we'll try to get this to work. So what we need is we need two characters. We can have two adults, so let's just pick two biped class characters. I'm going to pick this one here to start off with, and alright, interesting dress there, that'll do. And I'll just name him older suit guy. And one thing I should note, if you have a look here, you'll see that I can't have this name. And why can't I have this name? Simple reason is that you can't have gaps in computer code. So you have to put underscore characters. You put underscore characters, that's fine. You may ask, why does this have to happen? Well, the simple answer is that the computer actually counts a space as a character. So by doing this, you're actually telling the computer, look, it's just a name. This isn't a part of the code. So let's put this in. Excellent. So we've got our first dashing gentleman. And let me drag this back. Great. All right. Let's do a child. Let me see. Or a teen. Maybe a teen. Look, he looks fine. Let's put him in. And I'll call this the teenager. Yep, how creative. So there we go. We've got two people. And for this, I'm going to actually set them up to face each other. So by clicking the ring on each side, we're getting face each other. Now, what we want is we want to use the procedures tab and the functions tab. So to do this well, we want to make sure that we can use this pretty much to our ability. Alright, so let's start off. Let's go into edit code, and we can see here we want to choose one of these two to speak when a condition is met. We're going to do a size condition. So we want to have one of these characters to grow tall, and then we want to say when that character grows taller than the other, he will say something. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to make one of these characters grow tall. I'm going to shrink one of the characters. So being the older man, I'm going to actually make him a butler. And he looks like one if you have a look. Let's quickly go up. Very much like a butler. He's even got, looks like some mustache there. That's great. So let's bring him back. Let's move a little bit back. So now let's start. And what we're going to do is we're going to actually shrink him and increase his size. So we need to find out how much we can shrink him by. So let's go to, we've got the height here. Let's just make it 1.45. Maybe 1.25. So if you have a look, there he is. And that's the size I'm going to keep him. All right. Now, I want to expand him by a lot. Yep. So I'm going to make him 2.02 meters tall. So now that we are here, and you can see this block is here, what we're going to do is we're actually going to get a relational number, and we're going to use this to do the height comparison between the two. So we want less than, right? Because we want the butler, the older man, when his height is less than the teenager, to say something. So let's have a look and make it, I don't know, we can make it 1, right? Now that we've got these, we actually can get rid of them. But in order to do that, we have to drag a function block across here. And this is where the function menu can become really useful for if blocks like this, where you're making comparisons and then you want that condition to produce a result. So here we get the get height. And when I click on it or drag, there's 4 boxes that are highlighted in black. 1 here, 1 there, 1 there, and 1 here. The computer's telling you, Alice is telling you where you can drag this value. I want to drag it in that first block. Good. So now it says if the older suit guy has a height or is less than, what do you think the next block will be? Yep, the teenager. Of his height, then we want the older person to say, I don't know, let's just make up something. And we're going to have the teenager, let's say, over here. And I have to change this actually. I'll tell you how to do that in a minute. We'll put a custom string. Okay, so you notice that I accidentally left the teenager here, but that's okay. All you have to do, instead of clicking here, dragging another code, just click on this arrow and change it to the older suit guy. All right, let's see what actually happens now. Wow, did you notice? As soon as his height happened, he said something. Automatic. You can use this code. It's very powerful because it's an if code, an if statement. So definitely something you can try. Again, I'll just show you the code. We have effectively changed the values to getting the functions because they're values. And there's a huge menu here from distance to being behind or above to the width of size, the height, and even the color of the person. All these things can help change. Now, I want to have these guys not to do it one after the other. So do you know what block I could use to get them to do it at the same time? I'll give you 5 seconds to think. Okay, did you have a guess? Yeah, it's a do together block. So let's put this one in. We're going to actually drag it up. And I'm hoping I can just add this in. 1, 2. Now, let's see what happens. Perfect. And that's how you can use the functions menu to make your program with certain conditions and choices to really execute well and have many different types of animation sequences. Alright, so Until another lesson, guys, I will see you, boys and girls, next time.